Hello and welcome to another edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. Right off the bat on today's show, the Demon's in the news. Well, maybe not the Demon, but their parent company FCA is in the news because they've made a little trip to the trademark office to trademark a brand new name to be used inside of the American market, according to the folks over at Fiat Chrysler Authority. It's the name Angel, which is kind of the exact opposite of a demon, which has got the internet all abuzz. What could this be? Could they be building a brand new car called the Angel? Could it be a setup inside of the Demon that may be called Angel? Or could it be something else altogether? They may be really grasping at straws there, trying to come up with a real reason. But it'll be very interesting to see what could go on. If they're trademarking this name, they definitely have some plans up their sleeves for this name moving forward. So we'll definitely keep you in tune of what we hear. Next up on the list, more proof that the automobile industry is pretty doggone interesting, as the fun little modes inside of vehicles that are pretty doggone entertaining, involving the brand new 5-liter Mustang that you can get from your local Ford Motor Company very soon. It's got a brand new mode in it that Ford's laughingly calling the Good Neighbor mode. Basically, using the active exhaust system, you can go in through the selection mode inside of the instrument cluster and dial in and out some decibels inside of the vehicle. Basically, you can make it 10 decibels quieter at any point during the rev range. And it includes a quiet start mode. Let's say you're going to get up in the middle of the night to go pound around in your brand new Ford Mustang. Or better yet, maybe a young child who just got their license who wants to steal mommy and daddy's brand new 5-liter Mustang. Don't try that at home, kids. With their parents none the wiser. Yes, this could be very interesting as far as this is concerned, and it's pretty doggone cool tech, even though I'd probably leave it at its loudest setting. Neighbors would probably just think, oh god, it's Johnny's out in the middle of the night to go pound around that stupid Mustang again. So it's pretty interesting to see. This vehicle's going to be in dealer showrooms before you know it, so if you want to catch on to one, you better head on down there right now. Next up on the list, well, I didn't think I'd be talking about the Lexus LFA anytime soon. Probably one of my most favorite supercars on the planet. This vehicle was only 500 units were built for the world, and it was built between the year 2010 and 2012. And I just adore this car. I adore the whole backstory of the machine, where they basically built this entire car out of aluminum and then kind of went back and thought, oh gosh, you know, carbon fiber is becoming big, we got to do this all over again. The fact that they hooked up with Polyphony Studios, the folks that did the Gran Turismo video games, basically because the rev counter couldn't keep up with the way this naturally aspirated V10 that is smaller than a V6 actually picked up and loosed revs. And the sheer noise that this thing made was biblical. Harkens back to the old Formula 1 years with the V10s and the V8s, the years that we all miss when they really made a beautiful noise. I absolutely adore the LFA. But apparently the sales public didn't really care for this particular car, at least in some way, shapes, or form, possibly. The folks over at Autoblog were poring over the July sales numbers. When they got to Lexus, they found that they had sold one LFA, which is interesting, because there's the possibility that car could be sitting on that dealer lot from between 5 to 7 years. That car sat on its lot before it actually sold. So they did a little extra digging, those of folks over at Autoblog, to find out that Lexus has upwards of 12 brand new LFAs in the U.S. market that are still awaiting their new homes. Now this could be a two-pronged situation. It could be a deal where the dealership is using it as somewhat of a traffic tool, basically keeping the car on the dealership showroom floor to allow folks to come in to stare at that, and maybe they'll walk home with a different Lexus altogether. It also could be another situation. It could be the fact that this car was pretty doggone pricey. What was it, $365,000? Yeah, there was a lot of Italian automakers that built cars that were faster and performed better, and they were cheaper, and you wouldn't have to explain what this car was at a party, even though that's half the reason I would actually want one of these machines, is because it's not what you have, it's how interesting the car you have. 500 units, this thing's pretty rare indeed. And the sheer fact that there's 12 of these still sitting on dealer lots hopefully not moving anytime soon. If there's one close to Motor Cars HQ, I'm thinking about heading on a little road trip. Next up on the list, the folks that took those brand new ACR Vipers over the Nürburgring Nordschleife loop and achieved a 7-minute, 3-second lap around the old Nürburgring circuit, trying to go after the overall production car record. Well, good news. We talked about they were going to try to make another attempt, and the funding was achieved thanks to a lot of folks out there and a lot of generous sponsors. They will be going back in sometime in the month of September, hoping for a little bit better weather and be able to actually go after that sub 7-minute lap, and we'll definitely keep you in tune of what we hear. Last up on the list, while some entertainment groups are actually merging as we speak, the folks over Discovery Channel, along with their sister company, the Velocity Channel, have actually merged up with 10, the Enthusiast Network. Now, if you don't know what the Enthusiast Network is, you may actually be subscribing to them as we speak, much like myself. That's the Motor Trend on Demand Network, the group that does a lot of their programs. You think of the programs that you know and love, like Roadkill and Dirt Every Day and Hot Rod Unlimited and Ignition, Head to Head, and also Epic Drives. This show has a cornucopia of great automotive programming, along with the Discovery Channel and Velocity, who also has a fantastic amount of automotive programming. Some of it being some must-see TV for this fat bald guy. Now, I've really been jonesing out on a lot of Motor Trend on Demand over the past several days, but it'll be interesting to see just what exactly this group's going to do, whether some of these programming is going to end up on Discovery or maybe even Velocity. We'll have to wait and see, or maybe some of their programming will head over to the internet side of things. Will be interesting to see, and we'll definitely keep you in tune of what we hear. And that's all there was that I thought was worth talking about for this edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. Don't forget to like us over on the Facebook page. Links down in the show notes. Also, if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, you can do so at any time. Get the first dibs on the brand new shows as soon as they come out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again real soon.